It is Monday night, 6 p.m. West Coast, 9 p.m. East Coast. You already know what it is. It's the trades. We're just gathering people up. We're going to have a good show. We're going to start in about 3 minutes. Let people know what's up. It's the trades. And if you're watching, let me know where you're from. We're going to have a great show. And we're live on Instagram as well. So if you want to join the chat, because on Instagram you can't comment, but on YouTube you can. If you want to join the convo, go to my bio, click the link to the YouTube channel, go in the chat and talk yo ish. What up, J Prime? New Jersey in the house. I need to make you admin. I gotta figure that out, Jay. Yo, Lowell, Massachusetts in the house. East Coast in the house. If you're watching live, you're watching live from YouTube, Bboy Crumbs' YouTube and the Profowon channel. And on Instagram. Can you believe it? Technology is great. We're going to start the show in 2 minutes, 2 minutes. We got Lowell in the house. Obviously, Alex, where are you from? Lowell, Massachusetts, Jersey. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this technology, Jay. Oh man ish. Gonna start the show in 2 minutes, 2 minutes. The trades. We have a humdinger of a show today, guys. Giving a shout out to the chat. There is 9 of you. Tell a friend. The trades is on. All right. And we're starting the countdown. Let us know where you're from. In 30 seconds.
This video has been brought to you by Break Connect. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com.
Yo, what's up? This is Shyrock and Profowon of the Floor Gangs and Knuckle Neck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, show about breaking, hip hop, and the business of. How's everyone doing? It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. Had a lot of stuff going on, and I'll be honest, there's going to be a lot more stuff going on. I don't know how I'm going to be doing the show once a week. I might have to do it once every 2 weeks. I just got back 2 weekends ago. I just got back from New Jersey. Shout out to the AER B-Boy B-Girl podcast. They got me out there for the Jersey Fresh Jam. I judged and I did a workshop at Princeton University. That was really dope. Shout out to everyone that took it. Shout out to everyone that went to the jam. Shout out to the guys that won the jam. Yo, forgive me if I forget your guys' names. The crew from Philly. Yo, you guys killed it. You guys got to experience I got to experience kind of that area from Philly to Jersey, and not just that, you guys taking the workshop and getting a little taste of how I train and the philosophy of how I break. Thank you so much again. Shout out to my man J Prime right here. He calls me Lolo. He is gonna be. I have to figure out how to make him the moderator, but he is my new moderator right now. I'm on some old man ish. Like I don't know how this works, and I was like trying to. Like I was on Instagram earlier trying to promote the show, and I was supposed to have him. I was supposed to make him a moderator, and I just didn't get around to it. So I'm kind of like, how do you do this? So, but he's gonna be helping me out. Shout out to J Prime, Retro Flow, Jersey, Philly represent. So yeah, that was really dope. Um, yo, there's so much to talk about. Because I went on Instagram and right after the Olympics, I talked about that. You know what I mean? I talked about before the Olympics and after on Instagram. I haven't been on YouTube to talk about stuff and current events. And there's so many things going on. But before we get started, we have to clean house before we get started. So first of all, I just got to say, 89% of you are watching the content. And you guys got me to 2030, which is dope. Thank you so much. But I know you guys are lurking. You guys aren't really subscribed. If you subscribe, you can help the channel out. That way I could like maybe pay Jay for basically helping me out because there's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna happen in the channel. So, and I'll be honest, the most I made out of this channel is $10 because like shout out to the two super thanks from Indo G, DJ Indo G, and one from AER broadcast, B-Boy Bugo podcast. They basically helped me out. So that's another feature. You can help out by not giving a super chat or a super thanks, but just subscribing. Because when you like a video and you subscribe, you help the algorithm. You help get us to the algorithm to help monetize even more. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually making more from Instagram, which is nothing. But YouTube pays the most, but it's the hardest to gather audience. You know what I'm saying? Especially for dancers. You guys like 15 seconds because because the ADHD, right? From B-Boys and B-Girls. Anyway, so please hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications if you want to see more content like this, and a like to help this video. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, next is, of course, Zen World. Zen World has helped get this production going. ZenWorld.com, and there's Zen World CBD. It is from the cannabis plant, but it doesn't give you the head high or basically you don't get high, you get stoned. But there is part of the cannabis plant called CBD, and that's the thing that helps heal and repair. And the thing about Zen World is they make products such as Zen World Nano Drops. You put this in your coffee, your sports drink, or water. You drink it up. And CBD, what it helps is with inflammation. And for a guy like me who's 49 that doesn't regenerate as fast as you guys, I need this help. And if you don't want to ingest it, right? Yeah, the CBD roll on freeze, CBD freeze. This works like an icy hot. An icy hot massages, but it doesn't, help repair inflammation. The CBD ingredient does. It does help you with the inflammation and massages your muscles. So you can get this all at zenroll.com and use the promo code GEARHEADZ, GEARHEADZ. Get 10% off. Why not save money while you rest, recuperate, and repair? The 3 R's, you know what I'm saying? All right. And then one more thing, pinned to the top of the chat is Supreme Geometry Gear. Finally, I came out with a brand, and you can only find it on Printify. We don't have the beanies no more, but we do have the shirts and the hoodies. You can help support the channel, not by just giving a super chat or a super thanks. You can actually buy some gear so you can leave, you can leave not just, supporting me by like, just giving money just randomly. No, you get to, have some gear for yourself. So again, Supreme Geometry Profowon shop on Printify. Yes, sir. Okay, now that being said, got all that all the way. All right, so here's the thing, man. I've been knowing this guy forever. We've battled many times. And he could tell you like he is from that era when breaking started to really get its language. Like he was there to help develop the language and create some of the language. When we're talking about language, we're talking about styles, we're talking about moves, we're talking about like he has helped it'll influence a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And now, we used to battle each other a lot, but now we like, now as we get older, you kind of like, the respect happens after you've earned that, like those battle scars, and it's like we've been through it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's part of the 40 and up club. Sorry to put you on blast, bro, but I'm just saying. Without further ado, representing Style Elements, we got my man Bboy Crumbs. What up, Crumbs? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Profo? Yeah, man. We got them war stories, dog.
War stories.
Yeah.
War
Listen
stories.
to this.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
yo, man, like, yeah. So I know that we're having the show on your channel too. Thank you so much, and we're on Instagram as well. Yo, shout out to Friction. He got me on this software called Restream, where you could actually do multi broadcasts at the same time. So give a shout out to Friction from West Coast Rockers, man. This is pretty dope. And then the fact that you could, like, you could actually air it as well, because like this is your first kind of live, huh?
This is my first time
That's
doing
dope.
from my first YouTube live ever. So I mean, I've done interviews and stuff before.
Yeah.
It to mine and stuff. So we just got to learn and grow as we go.
There you go. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Like this,
Yep.
the whole Northern California Bay Area thing is being independent, and that was like, that's I've been on like, yo, let's not rely. That's just me. I've always been like, let's not rely on these people or that people. It's good. It's more. I always looked at it like just like E40 or Too Short. Like, yo, they had something, and then when the labels came, they were able to negotiate because they already had a following. You know what I'm saying? So like YouTube, social media, and YouTube gives us versus just like, okay, we gotta rely on this brand or these companies. Yet you have worked for these brands and companies, but we could get into that a little bit later. This is something yeah, go ahead.
They're all gonna be there.
Yeah.
And whenever they choose to work with you or not, that's on them. So it's very important. Everybody listen up. If you're in the game, a practitioner, it's very important to focus on yourself, your brand, your show, your content, your breaking, and build that. Always put it number one, because all of that can come and go.
100. That's real. I think that's the thing that we never learned. I think because one, it was a developing industry, and it was just about winning best of the best, winning Radiotron, winning freestyle session. But what do you do after? It's just like after that, it's like, win again? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
just keep winning, man. We're focused on being champions, man.
Yeah.
And our time was obviously before all the internet and all this stuff. So this is all, it's all shaping form today.
Yeah.
The practitioners, the younger practitioners, they're it's new. It's like they have it at their birth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Before this. So we're adapting. They're just growing into it. Like they don't understand how it was before. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, as long as we just keep supporting each other and keep building, pushing forward, and grassroots, man, support the grassroots.
There you go.
What it's about, man.
So so I never really. I think maybe I've interviewed you like live on Facebook, like at one of the Style Elements anniversaries. But so you're kind of like the youngest out of everyone in Style Elements too, right? Like pretty much everyone's a little
from the originals.
Yeah, from the originals. Like you're the youngest, right? Because like Ramon's like, he's a 77 kid, right? So
I'm 79.
You're 79, so right about to 80. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. That alone puts you in a different like mind frame than like, let's say, Poe, who was like already at the time like maybe 20 something, right? Like you're 19. So how? Because like a lot of people, and that's why I'm curious. Because like for instance, when I came up when I was 16, Wicked was 13, so he was considered the little kid back then. Do you know what I'm saying? And then by the time you guys met up with him, you guys are about similar age, but you were younger. How did you get exposed to the breaking, like or housing or whatever it was you guys are doing in the Central Valley?
Okay, so I try to make a long story short. I was raised in Panama, and in Panama we didn't get certain movies. Like they just didn't come. Right. I was in Panama from 79 to 89. 89 is when I moved.
10 years. Okay.
California, 10 years. So I never saw Beat Street, never saw I never saw any breaking. All I saw was skaters in Panama. Yeah,
right.
I didn't see and nobody was breaking, right?
Yeah.
So I first saw breaking in my junior high in Modesto. Some kids breaking. I was like, damn, that's shit's crazy. But it wasn't breaking yet. It was like, we used to call it housing. You know, the shitted pants at the bottom, flare, and maybe the Doc Martens. You know what I mean? Like, and even the fucking the Guess button-up shirts, like one strap overalls.
Right. Yeah.
Style back then, right? With the shit head with the long bangs.
Yep. Oh yeah, I had that.
All that shit, you know.
The rebel look, I think they call it the rebel look.
That's what the fuck was going on back then in Cali, right? In Northern Cali. So it was like house dancing mixed with some breaking moves. And when I say breaking moves, I'm not even talking about footwork. I'm talking about like a one-arm handstand stall, you know, some new jack kicks, right? Some fucking old kicks and all that stuff. The back hops.
Yeah.
You know, some dope shit, but not really breaking yet, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I first saw it in junior high, and I was like, I was already like, I did so many different athletic things, and I would move from one thing to the next, and that was the next thing that I saw, and I was like, yeah, man, I gotta fuck with that, and just never left, man, just because there's no ceiling, right? So
just,
just kept me going. But yeah.
So what year was that? What year was that for you?
93.
Oh, okay, it was 93. Okay, and then was was like these kids. So you said junior high? That's when you saw it?
Yep.
Were these kids like in a crew? Was there a crew like, you know, that was there a crew that had a name that you could shout out, or was it just random kids?
Oh, it was just individuals, man. Not even just few dancers. There wasn't even a lot. I remember there was this cat, his name was Chris, and he had a sister named Misty, and she would get down with us, and we'd just train at school, practice at school. And there was like maybe 3 or 4 of us. Like, it wasn't even like a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
And that carried on into high school, and then more individuals started coming, and that's when the crew started forming and all that stuff.
Right.
The first cruise I was involved with was with my boy Lloyd Gomez and Steven Montalvo. And we were a house and breaking mix crew, and we went by Family Mixfits, and this is before Style Elements.
Right. But we're watching a clip of Knuckleneck Tribe, so that's kind of like what it kind of was like.
That's the flavor.
Like breaking, but not really breaking. Like if you see like Eugene in the background, he's doing more like those hip hop dance moves, right? Like it's a mix, right? Like the way he's coming.
The tops were different. You know, the floor work was different, but the elements of breaking were in there.
Right. Yeah. Just for everyone to kind of get a reference of what we're talking about. This was happening.
You see the style difference right here.
Yeah. There's breaking, but you know what I mean?
Man,
so yeah, dude. So yeah, I just wanted to give the audience a little reference to Northern California. So like you guys went from that, right? You guys in junior high went from that, and that's 93. Then that's like, so that it's funny because that time it was still housing, but I would say 93 is when it started becoming like the return of like the B-boy. Like it was like, then it became like, you know, like the first crew back from the 80s was Rock Force, and then it was Renegades, and they were dressing like shell-toe Adidas suit, like fully on, like not the Hauser shit. They were doing like the whole like we're old school, like, you know what I mean, we're old school, but then they were doing like Flare 90 Flare. You know what I'm saying? Like
you had Jughead Tribe, you had Air Force Crew. That's when the world wars were happening in the area, and they like, Orko and Little Caesar and them would and just fucking murder it.
Basically.
And so then that's when we're like, oh, okay, now we got to start adding these elements to what we're already doing, and that's when it started to become more breaking, I feel.
Yeah. So what made, I mean, obviously, like I talked to Remind before, and he was like, well, I was just trying to do like what y'all were doing, but more advanced breaking. Do you know what I'm saying? Was that kind of your thing too, or you were just like, how did you start thinking of something from? Because like I said, like, you know, even if you watch the second generation Rock Force or your Wick and Jay, they were just more into like, you know, Flare 90, fast windmills, halos, and a little bit of footwork here and there. You know what I'm saying? And even with Floor Rockers, like they were messing with, you know, them being a branch of Sidewalk and then them doing footwork. what made you guys think differently? Because that's one thing that definitely like you guys pushed, right?
Yeah.
Was like that originality and break, like switch the angle of breaking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. In Northern Cali, just like you said, Frisco had their thing going on, Renegades, you know, and Rock Force, and San Jose had floor rockers and more of a, I would say more of a footwork b-boy style, a little bit more traditional, but abstract as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had that in too. What we were doing in the Central Valley was just a little bit more weird, I would say. First, you know what I'm saying? Like abstract. So the Valley was just like that, man. 209 just like that. Our jams had like all different styles of dancers all in one cipher. It wasn't just a b-boy, b-girl cipher.
Okay.
It was like all flavors, and the DJ played all different types of music: house, techno, hip hop,
right,
break beats,
right,
R&B, right?
Yeah.
And we danced to everything. So by mixing with all these other dancers, we would take little things from each person or each type of music and use it in a b-boy fashion, or construct it in a b-boy fashion, change things, flip them. And the music helped a lot with that too, because dancing to different music, different tempos, different styles, to lyrics, to drums, to whatever the fuck they're playing, right? High energy, you're going faster. Right? All of that helped create this SEC style that you see today, you know. And we just started traveling into the Bay.
Go ahead.
We started traveling to the Bay a lot and just going to events out there, a lot of raves, and, you know, Home Depot in Oakland.
Oh shoot, he said Home Depot. He said he done said it.
Yeah. You know, they used to have the Scratch Pickles performing. Like, we'd be there all night ciphering, right? Where we test our skills and hone our craft and just get the reactions from outside of the 209, right? To see how people react to it. And people were just bugging the fuck out. Like, who the hell are these kids, you know? But yeah, it all comes from our local jams, you know, all the people that were in those ciphers and us just thinking differently. And we just had a blueprint all together, the original Style Elements cats. We just really talked and formed what we're thinking and how we want to present ourselves and how we don't want to look like one another. How when we do a crew battle, Crumbs is Crumbs, Remind is Remind, Poe's Poe, Ivan's Ivan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would I try to do power moves like Super Dave?
Like, right. Oh, okay,
on lock, dude.
Right. Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. He's got that shit covered. You know, why am I gonna try to be a Rubik's Cube like Remind? You know, that's his fucking shit. Like me, I knew what I started with. Like my what made me stand out was by stacking. My fucking, you know, on beat and everything, hopping on one hand, like, but not just like corny, like really to any music. It was done musically, which later got lost by the masses, I feel. They made it look, that's not like how I created it to look. You know what I'm saying? So
who are the guys that were stacking before you? Was there anyone stacking like simpler? Like
no,
not like that. Yeah, like freeze to freeze.
People were switching freezes.
Okay, like Mr. Freeze, right? Like to me, he was like kind of like the first guy, like right, like.
But it was one level, right?
Yeah.
So that's different than stacking. Like I think Rockstrike calls it freeze framing. That's freezes, right?
Right.
Taking pictures. Stacking is stacking up and down without your feet touching the floor and mixing it with power moves and whatever you want, really.
How did you come up with that?
I just loved being upside down, you know. I would just
was that from the inline skating and stuff like that?
I never did inline skating. I used to dance on roller skates, like
roller skates.
9, before inline skates were invented.
Got it. Okay, so these are straight up roller skates.
Put on a pair of inline skates before, you know.
Oh shit! Crazy.
Yeah, so back in the day, that's what we used to do, man. That's what was fun. Like a lot of cats, we used to go to the roller rink and fucking jam, dude. Like that's how I learned how to dance. You know?
Right.
Funky. It's called a style called Rexing that's actually been coming back.
Really?
A lot of people do, you know. and a lot of breakers are starting to do it again too, right? I see 𝐀𝐁𝐤 doing Rex.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I do see him with the with the skates
See,
and stuff like that.
I was doing that shit in '89.
Holy crap!
And I was competing. I was competing with that shit too, and just like breaking, I would travel around and yeah. Anyways, that's how I kind of first got into dancing and learned how to dance. And the good part about it was those skates are so damn heavy. I would do tricks on the skates, flips and handstands and freezes.
Right.
I took those motherfuckers off and started breaking.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. Yeah,
like all right, let's fucking
easy, easy work.
But yeah,
that's crazy. So then, what was because like so you started because like there was a time what people don't know was like I was from that like 91 to 93 era, and at that point I'm 18, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to upper room. Like I'm over this.
Yep.
Little kid shit, little kid shit, whatever, right? So then when the best of the best started happening, that's what I'm saying. That's when Wick and Jay and all the like everyone started going to Hank Lopez and stuff like that. Was like so what like before that, were you going to the best of the best at that time, or were you just going to Hank Lopez, or just like what was your transition going to the Bay and just besides the raves, like what were you guys doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, Hank Lopez, that was the spot. Right.
Yeah.
All the best of the best. We threw jams there ourselves. And like we threw different events. In Frisco, the Upper Room.
Yep.
Also in Oakland.
Yep.
Yeah. The Upper Room in Oakland. That's
where
Housing Authority. And
Yeah.
That was the Upper Room.
Right.
And the one in Frisco on top of the Burger King.
Yep.
Yeah. We used to hit that up sometimes too. And yeah, those were the main spots in San Jose. The Cactus Club.
Okay, word. Yeah.
And the Junction, something.
J-Rock said it. Yeah.
Junction. We used to always go there too, and that was a big club. All kinds of house dancers, breakers, poppers, everything.
Right.
So we were in the Bay every weekend, man.
Yeah.
90s.
So was that so? For me, I think I was at Summit 3.
Hollywood Junction. That's
there you go. That's it. Hollywood Junction. There you go. So it's funny because I was actually at that B-Boy Summit, but I wasn't breaking yet. I was just like kind of freestyle dancing still, kind of in and out martial arts. Huh?
Which one? What year?
96. I was there.
Okay.
But I went with DJ Shortcut. I was just chilling with the pickles. So, but I just remember like that big old cipher.
I remember going down.
Yeah, I remember Flo, and Flo, Kenny, and then I that's the first time I think I met Profowon. I think Ayiko introduced me to Profowon. I think at that thing, at Summit 96, Summit 3, and it was kind of like that. I felt like that was like the mark you guys first, like the big mark y'all made was like battling Rocksteady, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We had already I think. We already did Radiotron at that point. Maybe it was after. I don't know.
I think it was after. I believe it was after.
Yeah,
I believe it was after.
Right. So I guess the first big global statement. Yeah. Right. But in Cali, we were already wrecking.
Yeah. But it was just about like, oh, here goes. It was like it's Rocksteady. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was a big deal. And time because fucking you already know like Rocksteady in the mid '90s.
Oh yeah.
Sir Kenny. Goals, fucking like bro. We're just like the kind of untouchable, man.
Right.
Like, nobody would even step to them.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's the first time I really saw you guys. I think like even though maybe you guys been around, I know Remind was like I was at World or whatever. I was like really, but like that was like kind of like, and that's when it was like, you started having like the regular like even though that wasn't a competition, like right after that, like I said, it's like Radiotron, which was like the competition at the time, right? Because no one else like Speed Lake says there's a competition, but like everyone wants to do a Radiotron, right? Everyone saw like freestyle versus Renegades, right? Which is like freestyles are like more from your area, right? Like that, like those guys, right?
Yeah, so, Manny Styles, Fresno, that area.
Yeah. So for you guys to like do to do Radiotron was kind of a big deal because then even though the Summit tapes were like, it was more of a cipher and there's music dubbed over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't get the real like versus when you guys battled Renegades, at freaking Radiotron, like, yo, now we see like all
What
these
happened.
different things. Yeah, you saw the
In the
routines.
summit tape, they chopped it up and edited it to look how they wanted it to look. You know.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope music mix, but you don't get the full effect. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
You just get like, okay, those are dope moves, but it's not like the Radiotron battles. Like, yo, this is, you see everything. You see like, you know, like I said, the routines. You see like, the floor being messed up. You see like, you see it getting heated. You see everything. You know what I mean. And like I said, that was the tape that I feel like kind of like that was, because Caesar was distributing them over in freaking whatever behind the post office and all these different type stores, skate shops.
Yeah.
And this is now we're talking about distribution. Like, this is like distribution of, not just like a dub tape, but like, yo, it's going to Japan, it's going to, what I mean. And that's when you guys start to really, really make some noise. And then here, I'm going to show some footage of that period. And the other thing is, what so from that, you guys do Radiotron. What led to Battle of the Year 97?
Radiotron.
Really? That's it.
Yeah.
Like a year after.
Thomas saw that battle and he invited us to represent for the U.S. Yeah, and also Poe was like Poe was a friend of Thomas also, so that had something to do with it as well.
Right.
But like you said, that video just circulated everywhere, and everybody saw who we were and they wanted to see more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And obviously that Battle of the Year 97 is the thing that kind of like set everything off, right? Like, that's the thing that made like in Northern California, we knew what was up, right? Like, we already know, what I mean? It was kind of like, okay, it's, because like we were battling you guys at that point. Like, we were battling you guys, you know what I mean? So we knew what to expect. But then, like, this is the first time the world, because they were used to, Europe anyway was used to like Battle Squad, and and they're used to Enemy Squad.
Second to none, Enemy Squad. Yeah.
Yeah, they're used to that, kind of traditional breaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, fast power, you know what I mean? Like, multiple halos, like, not even like Flare 90 Flare wasn't a thing. I feel like that was like a more Northern California thing, like Flare 90 Flare. You know what I'm saying? But like, everyone in Europe was like footwork, and then like fast windmills, munch mills, halos, all this type of stuff. And you guys brought something different. How was that like doing that for that 97 Battle of the Year?
Oh, that was game changing, man. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to talk about stuff like that because people talk about ego and all this shit, like, right? But we're just telling the stories, right? Like, we're really just spitting facts in timelines and what happened in breaking. And that day really changed the face of breaking that night.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
That can sound cocky, that can sound whatever, but it's the truth, because if you look at breaking before that night and you look after, it's night and day, bro. Like, everybody started, taking our stuff, flipping it, just straight up biting it, and it opened new doors to this future foundation that we know today in breaking.
Yeah.
And that all stems from those jams in the 209, right?
Right.
Mental, that all that we were doing, all the stuff we were trying, combining together, all those years of development. And then when we got to that big stage, it was just like an explosion, man. Like, nobody could touch us, right?
Right.
So game changing.
No, I agree. I mean, like, everyone, at that point, like, if I go to a timeline of like Northern California breaking, right? Like, from the 91, like, it was like Knuckle Neck Tribe, Jughead Tribe, then it became like Rock Force, then it became Renegades, then it became like Floor Rockers, you guys, you know what I'm saying? And because you guys were on top, it forced everyone else to adapt to like, okay, what are they doing? Like, we have to catch up. Because I remember when we went the next year, they're like, "Oh, you guys are like styling." It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, we battle those guys all the time. We have to. This is something we have to do. Like, I mean, we have to adapt.
Yeah,
right.
Adapt. Yep.
Like, Gerald had to adapt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, I remember, like, and this is a story. Like, I remember when Polsky's Garage, we seen you do the hand hops, right? The circle hand hops.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were watching tapes of Flowmaster, and he would do the scissors. And we're in the
kick.
garage, and then Gerald was just doing a scissor switch, and then all of a sudden he just like, wait a second, I think I can do it one hand. So when that happened, it was like, oh shit, there's answer the crumbs. You know what I'm saying?
Variation,
Like,
first variation. You know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When he did that against me, I was like, why the fuck didn't I think of that, dude? Like, God damn it. You know, it's such an easy, like not easy. It's not easy to think about just scissor, because we all did the scissor kicks with 2 legs.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I just never thought of doing it on one hand. I would always just, you know,
in the circle, in the pump. You know? Yeah, that's
crazy.
I mean,
look at it today, like grabbing the foot, threading while hopping, fucking doing whatever they want.
I mean, yeah.
But you know, the source is like it's really ortho. But
yeah. Right. Word. Yeah, he used to do it in a circle, right? He used to like pump with both hands in a circle.
The outside 90s, the reverse. That's how he would hop, the reverse, and it was a reverse circle, and he did like 4 or 5 hops, right?
Yeah.
I made it stationary in place, inward, to do as many hops as I want and transition into 90s or whatever I want.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. It's funny because, like, you know, this is, like I said, this is stuff that like is taken for granted because it's like today that's the norm, right? Back then, like you said, it was like, you know what I mean? It was like kind of you guys kind of like paved that way of just thinking, you know, like I think like someone like, it's funny because like even Bag of Tricks kind of had the same type of philosophy of mixing styles, but they weren't thinking upside down. They're thinking more like, what can we do with these threads, right? Like what can we do on the floor? You know what I'm saying? Versus like you guys were like thinking kind of like shoulder and head and, you know, other shoulder and stuff like that, you know.
I'm glad you brought them up because they were an inspiration too. Like we saw videos of them also. We were already doing our thing, already our chemicals and stuff. But you know, seeing a crew from Canada, like, you know, that's the crew to me. Gizmo is the man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like 96.
Yeah,
he was ahead of his time, dude.
Bro, he showed me footage of '89 doing shit like that. Like, '89. What the fuck? Like, where were you doing on that shit, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's my dude right there. And it wasn't like I wanted to take any of his stuff. No, I never took his stuff. It was just seeing the high levels, right? Just like Storm or back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Like, so that's the levels you can get to. You know what I mean? Like, provided fire and inspiration to
I mean, I want to shout out to everyone else too that kind of mix styles. Like, there's crews like Step Fiends, like they were from New York. They were kind of like mixing the styles and stuff like that. But I think you guys were the ones that made it famous, right? Like, you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was a housing thing, but then like I remember I talked to Remind because like, you know, there was a time when he looked like a b-boy, right? Like 97 about the year he was dressing in like, you know, the Spiridon, Nike Spiridons, or like, you know, then he started going back to like kind of like the more baggier pants, earth tone colors, dreads and stuff like that. And I remember I asked him like, why did you stop dressing like a b-boy? Why'd you say? He's like, oh, I'm trying to be a houser. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're from that generation, you kind of like, oh, I get it. You're like, that's the thing. You're just like, you're like an advanced version of what we did in '91. You know what I'm saying? Like a knuckle neck try, but advanced version. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope. You know what I mean? And now it's like a thing. You know what I mean?
And it's all phases we go through, right? Every year was like growing, trying different things, evolving. And then, you know, you get to a point where you find yourself better and you find your pocket, so to speak.
Right.
You find out what fits best with you and disregard what doesn't. You know, so we've been through so many phases.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still going through phases, bro.
Yeah. You know.
So okay, now we're getting like, now that we talked about kind of like the influence, let's talk about today. Like, let's talk about today. What's your thing? I mean, the biggest thing, and this is the first on Instagram I've talked about, but on YouTube I haven't. You know, we are what, 2 weeks out of the Olympics, right? Like, you know, things have happened. What's going through your head? Because I haven't talked to anyone like from our generation yet. I've talked to all the young guys, right? But I haven't really talked to anyone in from our generation. What's your thoughts, bro?
Oh man, I mean, anything in specific or just in general? Because there's so many different.
Let's go with like off the head. Like, just I'm gonna let you lead this.
Yeah. Overall, what happened is what I expected.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't expect anything different from what's already been going on. Like at the OQSs, at the preliminary, all this stuff that's been going on for 2 years.
Right.
The same format, same thing, maybe just more seats, right?
Right. Okay.
And it's got the Olympic name and banner to it. But and the good thing is that we got our music.
Yeah. Oh, that was, to me, that was the best part.
Yeah.
That was super huge.
And
Shout out to UMG, Universal.
Right. I think that was like a last minute decision too. So I was like worried about that, because at all the previous events we had to do cleared music, and you know, I'm not saying they're not good beats, they're good beats, but they're kind of the same. You know what I mean? The same tempo, no lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's missing our soul, you know?
I call it the new electro. To me, it's the new electro. It's like 2024 electro, right?
But don't get me wrong. I practice to the shit. I like it, but there's nothing like, we need a balance, right? Play one of those tracks, play one of those tracks.
Yo, I'm all for that. And you DJ too. I remember you spun at one of the Style Elements events, and I was judging. I looked back, it's like, yo, you're fucking killing it, bro. Like I told you, I was like, yo, you're killing it, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Thank you, bro. I've been DJing as long as I've been breaking. So, you know, but the breaking took off so much that people don't even know. You know, I spun at like a lot of the events in the '90s and stuff like that, and a lot of mixtapes. I started in '95 doing mixes on my 8-track. You know, just killing it, different tracks and just blending up crazy blends, and they're all on my SoundCloud page. People can go check that out. SoundCloud.com/Bboy Crumbs. So yeah, I've been doing that, man, and just like my breaking, I give a different flavor, and if you look back at all our Style Elements videos, I did all the production. Remind helped too, but I did most of the editing, and I did all the music, right? I DJ'd all the beats and chose a lot of the beats, and Remind picked some tracks too. All that music that I put on those videos, they weren't really playing a lot of that shit at breaking jams. Until people got a hold of our videos, and now they become.
That's another thing that you guys kind of innovated, was the solo. Well, you didn't innovate it, but you know, Mr. Wiggles was doing it, Kenny was doing it. You know what I mean? Like they were all doing the bootleg Betty joints, and like you know,
they were first.
Yeah, but you guys made it a thing. You know what I mean? Because you guys were younger, right? Like, of course, we're gonna respect the OGs. They're coming out with, you know, Bboy Summit tapes, but this was more like this is a hip hop tape, but this is breaking though. And you know, obviously, the song that you guys made famous was like, you know, the Freestyle Fellowship Hot Potato joint. Like, now everyone plays that shit.
I mean, all Freestyle Fellowship way cool. I mean, Organized Confusion, Gold Rush, like. All this stuff that nobody was even playing, you know, like all kinds of tracks. But you know, you have to dig to figure that out.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean that's the main difference is like, you know, you guys, we were all hip hop heads. You know what I mean? Like straight up, like not just b-boys, like we liked hip hop, right? So it was about like and that was just like a hip hop. If you could find a track, you know, like it's funny because like for me, what I want to hear at a breaking event is like, I want to hear that freaking you know, Helter Skelter. I don't hear that, but you know what I mean? Something like that. Like that song's fire to me, but the kids won't know it because they're not. That song came out 25 years ago, and you know, A, B, and C, right?
And not only do they not know it, a lot of them don't know how to break to it because it's never being played. They don't know different tempos. And, you know, and I'm not dissing anything. I'm not dissing. I'm just showing a little bit of the differences, right? Like, it's always like a high, fast pace, never like really a wave, right?
Right.
Like we had in the 90s. And if we played more mid-tempo music, then they can understand how to do this. You know what I mean? And how to relax a little bit more, be more instead of redlining the whole time, right?
Right. Is that what you feel? Is that how you feel about a lot of the guys?
Personally, I feel like I want to see you get there, but I don't want to see you stay there the whole time. That should be pitch, right? Like that's like a singer going to the highest pitch but never leaving there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta let it flow, man. It's incredible. Don't get me wrong, it's incredible, but
Mhm.
yeah, we gotta get that wave back. And
Yeah, I mean that's the hardest part because most promoters want to live stream their event, and if you play anything that's copyrighted music, it's like they
I know.
cut you off. So that's why again Olympics was so special because like, oh shit, they're playing Eric B and Rakim, no way.
Mhm.
And it's just funny because like some of the dancers are like, oh, how do you
Yeah.
dance this? You know what I'm saying?
It's catch-22 double-edged sword, right? Like
Uh,
these rules and regulations of the internet and clearances and copyright issues have shaped our breaking our future,
100.
you know. And that's like, I mean,
100.
shit, you know, what can you do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
hopefully this stuff can get fixed in the near future,
yeah.
you
It's
know.
it's it's hard because that's the thing that exposes everyone to it is the YouTube and the Instagram and the TikToks.
Hmm.
But it's like the radio, right? Like it's like top 40, right? There's top 40 moves, there's top 40 music.
There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? And within breaking, let alone like hip hop. Like within
Hmm.
breaking, it's like, and that's how it goes, right? Like, at one point, invert hollowbacks were in, then it became air chair, then it became tap mills, then it became, you know what I mean? Like there's just this thing that's gonna like
It's still tap mills. It's still going. Hey, the trends, man. That's the thing. The trends will always be there, and it's the same with the DJs. It's the same with the
right, right.
the trend of that style of music. That's what's going on right now, and that's why people are breaking the way they break right now. It all starts with the DJ, you know.
Yeah.
These kids are practicing to those beats because they know they're gonna get those beats in the
Yeah.
competition, right? So
Yeah.
it is what it is, right?
Right. And it's even
Like,
crazier for the younger ones, not even the kids that are like 21, 20. We're talking about the 12-year-olds are like, it's just,
mhm.
this is their existence is the competition and just the competition style and who's the hottest doing what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like creating something like that's different, right? I don't want to even say original. There's something different, you know what I mean? It's hard because, and you're right, the music does, like we had so much variety in music. That's why
So
we could open up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I
oh my
mean?
god, night and day, bro. Like, yeah, we
Yeah.
had everything. The melting pot, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but one thing I just want to tell, like, maybe the newer generations out there, breakers, the trends is always gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
and it's okay to learn the new trends and moves and stuff like that, but don't get fixated on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like that shit comes and goes. So when it goes, if you're stuck on that, then you're gonna be played out. You know?
Right. Right. Yeah.
What we
That's
did,
true.
like, whenever there was a trend style elements, we went left. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do something completely different. Y'all handle that, but when you come see us, you're gonna see something that's totally different than what everybody else is doing, and that gave us longevity. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick before we continue, gotta give a shout out to AER B-Boy B-Girl Podcast. Gave us super sticker. He said 100 underlined twice. I don't know which time what any of us said, but thank you for that. um, yeah, man. So okay, so talking about the past a little bit and like just like and the present. Um, let's talk about this now. Like, let's talk about like what's happened to you recently. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so first of all, how did you get your shoulder injury? So how did that? Because it didn't happen overnight, right? Or it
No,
did?
no,
Did
wear and tear.
wear and tear?
Wear and
Okay.
tear. But I did have shoulder surgery in 2018. I fucked it up in Colombia, ciphering on uneven concrete.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember clearly. Grandmaster Flash was DJing, bro. I was
And
going off, and maybe I had a little bit too much to drink, smoke.
oh shoot. On top of that,
I
okay.
did 20 rounds, and my body was like, "Yo, chill, kid." But I was like, "No," and so I didn't listen. It's one of
Mm.
those stupid things.
Mhm.
I remember I had one of the fucking best rounds of my life, and then I had one of the worst ones. Because that's when I snapped my fucking clavicle
Whew,
bone in half.
yikes.
Yeah,
Whoa,
so
in half?
in half. Yeah, I broke. Just
What
snapped.
the hell?
Yeah.
Damn.
And so, I flew back and had surgery pretty much like a couple days later. And but even before that, just 31 years of stacking, breaking. Breaking is heavy on the shoulders. You're always
Mhm.
lifting the body up, and the cartilage that holds the ball and socket joint together around the labrum, that's like I only have a little bit left. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
hemorrhage, it's like pretty much bone on bone, right?
Yikes.
But I mean, if you like compare like how long we've been doing this shit, like it's just comes with the territory, you know. Like the fact that I've only had one surgery my whole career.
That's actually very good.
That's fucking crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So my body's very resilient, but the wear and tear, it's like the best way I could describe it is like tires on a car. When that shit's bald, you know, you don't got no traction, you know.
Yeah.
So, my neck, from all my neck joints, head flip, I've been flipping on my head forever, dude.
Yeah.
You know, all of it, all the back of the head invert styles that I innovated, all the stacking from my shoulders, power moves, it's all worn down. So nothing like torn or ripped or anything like that. It's just like, just the ligaments are worn out, you know?
Right.
So I've been studying stem cells for a couple of years now. And I've been talking to a lot of people that have been doing it.
Okay.
And so I really wanted to try that because, you know, going through surgery and stuff like that to fix torn muscles or try to regrow tissue or ligaments or anything, any kind of surgery is not the best bet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're never really the same afterwards. Like even with me with my shoulder surgery, like I built up so much scar tissue just from having surgery, you know.
Right.
The bone like pops up and shit.
Yeah.
It's just it's never gonna be the same like how it was. Right. So if you tear something or get injured, like you go get stem cells done and you don't have to get surgery. That shit will heal up in half the time or less, and you'll be back like 100%.
Wow.
You know, and so no scar tissue, none of that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just showing a clip of you.
I just had it done a couple days ago, man. On
that's crazy.
On last Wednesday. So that was me in the hospital, just explaining like why I did it, and you know everything that I'm going through. I can't break for like 3 months because I got to let the stem cells do their work and regenerate the tissue. And if people don't know what it is, the stem cells come from a baby's umbilical cord. You know what I mean? So it's fresh life stem cells, like brand new. So when they inject these areas, for me, my shoulders and neck, of where the ligaments are almost gone, they inject it right exactly where it needs to be, and that helps it regenerate and grow new tissue. But it takes time. So it takes 3 months, but even after that, it's still like a baby, right? You got to think like a baby, so you got to come back slow and get it strong, and then boom. So my main thing was mobility, because my shoulder mobility is like fucking trash now. Right. So bad. So I'm just trying to get at least 50% of that back and bring back so much that I haven't been able to do for the past 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big about that, obviously, because like, I turned 49 this year, and I'm still out here, and like relearning, because like you know, there's some stuff that like I never used to stretch. You know what I mean? Like I never used to work out. Like now I'm like, nope, I'm working out more just to maintain and even like try to redevelop certain things. What's some of the advice you would say, like you would tell your younger self, so that way to get more preventative type things, right? Because it's gonna wear down, you know, eventually. But you know, what are the things that you felt like, man, if I would have done this, I would have kind of like, you know, this process would have been way later in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this stem cell thing is pretty new, so we didn't even have this, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Which is awesome. So these kids now, they got it.
They have access to it, right?
they can start right now.
Holy crap!
You know what I mean? Like do it once every 2 years and always regenerate your tissue. Make sure everything's good. It's like maintenance, like an oil change. You know, not just like, oh, I'm injured, I got to get stem cells. Yes, you do that too, and it's going to heal it. But for maintenance, like making sure everything's good, right? And you know, some people, they get like stem cells through IV, like once every 6 months, and they train like a beast, like a lot of CrossFitters, MMA guys. They train like for 6 months without even really getting sore or inflammation or anything.
Really?
Like
Damn,
that's
no inflammation.
The power of fucking stem cells, right? Wow. It's like, it's legit. And you know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
So okay, that's what I'm saying. That was my next question. So let's say you can't afford it right now, right? Like, what are some of the preventative things you felt like you could have done? You know what I mean? Because I mean, you know, to push stem cells, if you could afford it, that's dope, right? But and then you went to Mexico too. It's like, because I'm sure in America it's like fucked up ass prices, right? Like, or whatever. Or it's not even available.
No, it's not even available in America.
Word. It's
like
just in Mexico.
FDA,
Yeah.
the FDA won't approve it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shit gets approved, and guess what? No more surgeries, no more.
Oh.
Like it affects all of that.
Oh
right?
shit. Yeah.
Go outside the country because they don't want you knowing about this stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I went to one of the best places in Tijuana, state of the art. They actually sponsored the UFC. It's CPI,
really?
Performance Institute. Yeah, all the best fighters, they all go there and get stem cells done all the time. And so, like I said, I did my homework. You know, I'm going to go and get it done legit. But yeah, in America, they only approved like a little tiny amount, right? That's really not going to do much for you at all. But over in Tijuana, where I went, I got shot up with 200 million stem cells.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like crazy. So that is what you really need, like just an overload of them, and they do the work, right? So, you know, I think it's surgery costs what? If you don't have insurance, it's going to cost 20, 30,000. It's like the same, right? But you're getting you're not going to have those issues in the past. Like sometimes when you get a surgery, you may need to get another surgery in the same place a couple years later. You know, it may be an ongoing thing, or like we talked about before, like scar tissue, all these issues that are going to keep coming back, right? Because they're cutting you open and scar everything, right? It's just not good. So I mean, listen, we spend so much money on material things that drop in value the second you buy it. I invest in my body and give back to my body than buy a new car or even a new house. And that may sound crazy to people, but for me, my vessel, my body is my house. It's my car. Shit, I consider my body to be like a 90s Ferrari. Like it's a classic, right? It needs proper maintenance, health as well. So I'm willing to invest in my body, especially at 44, you know, and moving forward. This is what I got to do to continue to do what I love to do without being, without breaking with pain and not having the flexibility that I need to do the things that I want to do. So it makes sense for me. And I think in time, a lot of people in the breaking world are going to start finding out about this and using it to their advantage.
Crazy. Yeah. So what's some of the stuff, again, let's go back to what if you can't afford it? What's some of the stuff that you would to kind of like, you know, to kind of minimize injuries and long-term type of stuff? Like, is there any workouts or any types of things that you're just like, man, I wish I didn't do that, or wish I did do that? Like, any advice for everyone out there? Because, you know what I mean? Like, we are the elders, so it's good to hear this now. Yeah,
definitely. For me, it's like warming up, obviously, before you compete and all that stuff, or even Cypher. You know, we've been taught that, like, yo, is he fucking warming up? Like, what the fuck?
Bro, 100. 100,
dude. You know, we got to kill that. We got to kill
it. Kill it.
Yeah.
Kill that shit. That shit's over. I'll bring a jump rope to a gym. I don't give a fuck. Like, and not just a Cypher. Like, fuck that. I don't want to, like, oh, that guy's stretching. That's corny. Like, well, motherfucker, I'm out here. Like, I ain't trying to get hurt for one thing.
Longevity. Yeah. So warming up, you know, doing your thing, and if you're doing like long competitions, you got to eat in between battles. Even small amounts, you're eating the right things, getting that fuel, getting that getting hydrated, drinking a lot of water. And then after you're done, get a good, nice long stretch, man. Make sure you're good, and that's how to do it. And it's tedious, but it's got to be done if you're looking for longevity. And also adding things like the TRX bands, you know, stretching out those ligaments and doing the extra stuff. Like a lot of people, for us, I feel like lifting weights really isn't a big deal, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like we lift our body weight. We have that flexible functional muscle. And we throw ourselves around, you know what I'm saying? Like the bar, and I'm not dissing like weightlifting. Weightlifting is dope. I do it sometimes because aesthetically you want to look like you know, chiseled or whatever, you want to look a certain way, that's what it's good for. But at the end of the day, it's a stiff bar with weights, you know what I mean? Like you can turn your body any way you want, but you can't bend those weights. And so TRX band work, look into that, and just make sure you're hitting all the ranges of motions, 360, just like you do in breaking, from your legs to your core to your arms to your neck, everything. And it takes time, but the more you do that, the more flexible you're going to be, and the more strength you're going to have in areas that you never even knew that you could have strength in, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to make your breaking look better too.
Yeah. Oh, 100. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, again, man, I wish I would have stretched back then, because I lost a lot of stuff from the 2000s just by doing footwork and sitting on my, you know, my calves are like, not my calves, my quads are like this tight, and I didn't realize how tight they were from all the footwork, and I had bridges. Now I'm slowly getting it back, but you know, at this point, I do work out way more than I break, like straight up, and that's just to open shit up. That's just to like you said.
Well, we're at that age.
Yeah.
We can't, like, if we break 8 hours a day like we used to, we're gonna tear our body down, dude. You know. No, we gotta do
max 45 minutes, max.
Yeah. I go like an hour and a half, but I go hard and then I shut it down. Like,
exactly. You slowly kind of, you know, and then you do your statics, and I that's the thing that, like, you know, I think. Yeah, man, all the old school guys, like, you gotta be raw. Like, no, we're not listening to you guys no more. You guys could barely sit up, bro.
Bro, this 2024. You know, and another thing is, like, you know, cold plunges. There's a lot of good shit out there, man. Just go on YouTube, you know, figure shit out. That's what I did. And then don't take my word for it. Try it. You know, see if it works for you. Some may work, some may not. You're gonna see results in certain things.
100, man. I'm cold shower every day for me. Wim Hof breathing, like, you name it, I'm doing it. Like, I have this, like, my girl got me this is a cupping thing, electronic cupping thing. I use this shit just because, like, I'm so freaking tight. Even like the gun doesn't work out for me because my muscles are just like, so I have to open it up somehow. You know what I mean? And get that, you know, let the hydration come into my body.
The blood's got to flow, and if it's stuck, See, what's been happening with my shoulders from the surgery and the scar tissue, flowing. So even if the tissue wants to regrow a little bit, because it got no fuel. It got no
fuel,
you know? So
exactly,
man. All this. We have to become kind of like our own scientists.
We have to Frankenstein ourselves, right? Instead of like, hey man, it's raw. If you just go in and, you know, maybe like, no, that's done. You guys, like, we're starting to see, like, someone like 𝐂𝐴𝐿 who's like fit and at 56 could gainer, and because he stays fit, that's
awesome.
He, like, you know what I mean? He doesn't just, I'm gonna break and it's wrong. No, he does the right things to, like, it's not just breaking, right? Because that could be static too, right? Hitting the same thing all the time. You're static. You need to open up in certain ways and really concentrate. I got all types of stuff, but like, I think we are pushing the levels of it now that we have, like, the 40 and up. Like, Hong Ten just turned 40, like Morris just turned 40, like, you know, and a bunch of other people. I'm sure they don't want me to say that they're 40, but they're 40, bro. Like, like, trust me, they're over 40. And it's like, exactly. I wear my sleeve, so I'm more like, you know, this is proof if you were to take care of yourself. And I'm even pushing that more than anything else. It's like, yo, take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can, you know, like, it's fun to like, I compete for fun, man. Like, it's not really about winning. It's just like, man, everyone said that we were done at 21. Like, when I was coming up, like, oh, at 21, that's old. Like, now it's like, no, we can actually, like, enjoy ourselves to who knows if we take care of ourselves, right? And if we do stem cell, like, you know what I mean? Like,
who knows?
We don't know the shelf life, bro.
We're pushing the boundaries.
100. This generation right now is pushing the boundaries.
And it's going to be an interesting test, and just to see, you know, how far we can take it and what we can do and what we're going to look like in our 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think it's possible to get better.
100. I'm with you, bro.
But I think I can get better, dude. Like, you know, so
I mean, as long as we're not getting punched in the face, that's the thing that fucks you up.
we
it's the
don't have
punch in the face. It's not the
yeah.
working out part, like in that. But then if you train like those guys, bro, and I'll get punched in the face. Like who know, you know what I mean? We don't know, and we take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
As
We
long
don't
as
know.
that's the number one thing. As long as we take care of ourselves, breaking is adapting so fucking fast. And as long as we're in tune with the evolution, I mean, we're not gonna be able to like throw ourselves and do one arm fucking.
Right.
We don't need to do that. You know,
Right.
we got the style, flavor, creativity, and mix with the evolution, like learn some of the new shit that's going on too, and mix it in with what we're doing. We can take it as far as we want.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I think we're gonna end it on that, man. I think this dude, I mean, I think this last part is like the thing that, you know, we need to like that needed to be documented because like I said, you know, a lot of like our elders are kind of like, you know, they had certain lifestyles that necessarily not conducive for breaking, right? We're creating a new like foundation of like, okay, what a artist athlete looks like and what they have to do to take care of themselves. So that way we can represent and enjoy and still teach and still compete or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? So I think that's, you know, I think that's like what we just talked about is very important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crucial, man, crucial. And before we take off or whatever, I just want to plug my school, Six Step Academy. Yeah, I have a school now out here in Atlanta, and it's doing really well, growing. And I'm planning on, you know, franchising across the U.S. That's the goal. And I have sixstepacademy.com is the website, and I have, you know, like online courses and stuff like that. A lot more stuff coming, gear, breaking gear, all that stuff. So go check that out. And then also Style Elements, it's our 30th year anniversary. Yeah. 30 years of innovation, and our jam is going to be November 23rd in San Jose, California. It's a week after freestyle session, so everybody's coming down for freestyle session. Plan on staying one more week because we got the Style Elements 30th anniversary going down, and we always do our 3 versus 3 last one standing competition.
That is actually always a fun event, bro.
It's legit, nothing like it, bro. First place, $3,900. Second place, $1,500. Along with that, we always have the Super Dave Power Move competition for $500, judged by Super Dave. And then this year, for the first time ever, I'm doing a Stack King competition, judged by myself and sponsored by Six Step. So we're adding that this year. A lot of fun stuff, man. And then we got the Who's on Fire popping competition, 1v1 from Tommy Boy Fire. It's a lot of dope shit going on. And of course, ciphers all night. You know the vibe. If you ever been to a SEC anniversary, it's house, it's hip hop, it's breaks, it's everything, right? So there's a little bit of something for everybody. So come join us. If you need more information, stay tuned on @StyleElementsCrew on Instagram. We got the teaser flyer out now, but we're going to be dropping a lot more info in the near future. So just stay tuned, man. It's gonna be on.
There you go, man. Yo, thank you so much. And where can they find you on your social media?
Yes,
right there.
At Bboy Crumbs on Instagram, and then really subscribe to my YouTube.
Yeah, might as well.
YouTube.com/Bboy Crumbs. And let me just say something. Like, I think I have like 430 videos, right? So it's like my career video vault. I'm always uploading new. I have endless footage, right? So like I'm always putting more up. So from when I started till today, it's got footage of me the whole time, and free tutorials. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff, man. You could go down the rabbit hole and really like get a lot of knowledge and just learn a lot about style elements, about myself, about history and breaking. And the important thing is, like, there's these outside organizations, right? And I'm not dissing any of them. They're all necessary, right? They all bring value to our art, to our dance, right? But I think people get so stuck on that, right? That those organizations, that they forget about the grassroots. They forget about the source, about the real practitioners that are still here. We all have content. We all have a different storyline than that they're telling, right? So these organizations, like I said, they're great, but they're telling the storyline that they want to tell. And, you know, a lot of times they leave some really important factors out, you know, and you can find out about those factors on our pages, on our content and all of that. So support the grassroots. It's really easy. Look for your favorite breakers.
Yeah, super easy.
And keep up with the content. It's all there.
Right. There you go, man. There you go. And before we sign out, you can find me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades with Bboy Crumbs.
Appreciate you, Profo. Thanks,
yes, sir. Peace. And see you guys later, man. All right. And